Good morning everyone, at least in my time zone it is good morning, it's 9:30 a.m. So we're here bright and early to break down Sprocket's adventure for you all, to make sure... Oh, I got some... Where's this coming from? Adventure for you. Here we go, sorry. I have 400 tabs open and I missed one. So now we shouldn't have the audio reverb basically, and things should be a bit more straightforward. Alright, so we have roughly 16 minutes of footage. Alright, so give me a second. Oh, there's one more tab. I got it. I got them all. Gotta catch them all. Good morning. Hey, just passing by. I'm sorry about this. Now we fixed the sound. Okay. Too many tabs open. In two browsers, in fact. The things I do sometimes. Alright, so we have... This is the current status where we are. 4 out of 6 tickets for Sprocket's adventure. In fact, this was probably the first time this happened. Yesterday evening, before I went to bed, I could have tackled the legendary encounter, and I had something like, I don't know, 3 more ad refreshes to play these levels, or this one level that is remaining. I was surprised, because that's the first time, I believe, this happened without going with any gem refreshes. So I think that this is one of the easier adventures, which is of course cool, because it makes it a lot easier for most of you guys to open a couple of these chests and get a few more prizes. Gotta catch them all. Yes, we do have a lot of these thingies open. Hey, good morning, Malapitje. Hello, hello. Alright, we have 16 minutes of footage, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and these are all the encounters that I basically broke down one after another. We're starting with common encounter number 1, as always. So without further ado, let's fix the sound one more time. Let's give this a watch. So this is common encounter number 1, where we are not allowed to play any ranged units. This is kind of new. In the past, the first 3 common encounters, you could do whatever you wanted. These days, for the first common encounter, there's sometimes some requirement, but it's not a big deal. This is a level that really showcases how good Wingtip can be. We're just taking out 2 enemies here at the top with Wingtip. Then we put the killer robot on the board, and that already puts us in a great position. And we all know that Silver Road is one of the absolute favorites of the designers of these encounters. So whenever I can, I try to play Silver Road because I feel like he's pretty good. Silver Road in Germany, we actually say, this is a saying in Germany, Silver Road is pretty good. Yeah, it's not. It's just me. Alright, so this is common encounter number 1. As we see, super straightforward. I think there's a couple of lineups that can get you there. The key, in my opinion, was Wingtip, because he would deal with those 2 archers, who are the 2 units that can immediately connect with your guys. So all of that takes us to common encounter number 2. Similarly straightforward. You can this time play whoever you want. And there's a couple of encounters where I'm a really big fan of ranged units. I mean, whenever I can. And here the cheat, so to speak, is to play both Naevis and Queen Akeshru, because now even if the enemies are able to get rid of the shade, they cannot connect with your guys, because you have this little bit of extra reach thanks to the help of Naevis. So now the enemies up here are getting kind of busy with the one shade that we have, and we can just like sit tight. We can just stand here. There's no need to like rush in or anything. We can just like from a distance safely attack this enemy and put at least one shade on the board, and thanks to the darkness, even if they take him out, they cannot connect with us again. So we're again striking the enemies from a distance. When we're playing, we're getting Sprocket into play and her killer robot. We're using, I'm not sure if that was the active of Bullmon. I think it wasn't. You need to get a little bit lucky with the killer robot not killing you or like setting your own guys on fire, but other than that, this seemed pretty straightforward. And now we do have Naevis, we do have 2 ranged attackers. Or actually just one of them can attack, because Bullmon is hulking. Couldn't have gotten there. Good morning, Drums, and hello, hello. And that's basically common encounter number 2. I quite liked it. Fighting from that little island of yours against the enemies, I think that was pretty cool. This is common encounter number 3. Which is one of those where the game is very forgiving. You can play 5 units and you can like isolate yourself in the corner, like take out enemies with guys like Bullmon if you happen to have Bullmon, and then you can also play some summons on the board. So like for the most part this seemed pretty straightforward, at least to me. I still have the Cinder Cannon that I'm not even using here, and we still have Queen Akeshru to put even more pressure on this guy. And we're getting kind of lucky, but I don't think this is necessary, because if we hadn't taken him down, we could have still placed the Cinder Cannon on the board. So now our frogs are rushing in, so this guy's almost dead, and we just need to get rid of this Queenie here. Frost, I call them Frost Queens. But Bullmoon is obviously super reliable to get the job done. And then again, we still have the Cinder Cannon if we needed to. We still have Queen Akeshru. As you can see, lots and lots of options to get rid of this one remaining enemy here. So I think this wasn't like super challenging, to be honest. That gave us the first chest in this adventure, so just 3 levels down and you already get like some cool stuff. And then we're advancing to the uncommon encounters, where we now have to play Hive Faction heroes. So we already saw this in the very first encounter, that Wingtip is really, really good dealing with these archers. They are rogues, Wingtip is a warrior, so that makes a lot of sense. And this is, I think, one of those super straightforward encounters. You just go like 2 for 2 with 2 for 1 actually with Wingtip. Then we can place the killer robot on the board. And whenever you have the choice and you're not sure if you can immediately take everybody out on the enemy team, make sure that you leave these Frost Sorceresses alive the longest, because they don't tend to attack you. More often than not, what they do is summon a Frost Golem, so that means you have an additional turn to get rid of them. Good morning, hey Claudio, hello, hello. So that's why I always attack them last and focus my fire on all the other guys. We could have also used the active of Bassi here to set the tile on fire. So even if she doesn't immediately die, there's a very strong chance she would eventually go down. Alright, so this is uncommon encounter number 1, which takes us to uncommon encounter number 2, where we are required to play red heroes. Now this is the first encounter, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but this was the first encounter where I already had a score before going into it. So this was the first time that I actually had to play a level for a second time, to revisit a level. So like I said, I think that this adventure is for the most part very straightforward. At least that has been my impression, but if you disagree, let me know in the chat. So this is a relatively hard level. I tried some things with my Vera. I tried some things, I think it's mostly my Vera stuff. I tried to get rid of the enemies with my Vera. Didn't really work. The secret, so to speak, in this encounter is Sunshine. You can also, if you want, play Balmur, but quite honestly, he's not that important. It's like the key unit, in my opinion, here is Sunshine, which led to a very funny discussion in our guild chat, because we have a player, Purun, who likes and loves Sunshine, like a ridiculous amount. You can place Karadan to the top, because that means that the mouse is going to come out. And we're going to see that here. Here is Tristan, Sir Tristan, in fact. He even gets healed, so this is quite nice. And now the problem is these 3 Frost Sorceresses, and we need to get rid of them. And this is where Sprocket really, really shines. I believe that Kyle wanted to showcase the passive ability of Sprocket. It's kind of weird, because you're like, how is this a passive ability? You're doing something, you're like actively doing something. But what you're doing is you're using the trait of a mechanic to repair unit. And the passive of Sprocket says, then this unit is going to jump in and attack. This is why I'm saying it's a passive, because normally you don't activate the passive. Alright, all of that takes us to uncommon encounter number 3, with one of my favorite requirements of them all. My 2 favorite requirements in this game, or 3 favorite requirements, are play ranged units, play mages, or play rogues. In all 3 cases, you can either play Giggs or like Dorga, but she's like rarely the best unit. But Giggs really often is like a really good unit, obviously. Ranged units gives you Queen Akeshru, Grandma Bones, Bullmoon against summons, my Vera. Like there's a lot of options. Or Snaspang, Giggs again, and mages of course just gives you like the entire summoning squad. So this also makes it relatively easy for you to take out enemies without taking any damage in return. Just taking a few short glimpses working. I preferred all encounters in which I didn't have to use the killer robot, because he tended to randomly attack my own units. Alright, so here we're using my Vera to take out this archer first and then the other guys, because now all of our units are out of the danger zone. This is the key in my opinion. So now the enemies cannot connect with us, and we can now go ham on the enemy. I mean, still got my Vera, can very comfortably take out this enemy. Then we do have Giggs, and then on top of Giggs we still have Snaspang, and then on top of Snaspang we still have a killer robot, and then on top of that we still have Naives. Like so much stuff we have here. Do not make the mistake of using the active of Snaspang. First move your units in. This is something you eventually learn when you play enough adventures. And then after you did that, you can now use the active, and then you have one more attack to get rid of the enemy naives with mirror match of sorts. To those of us who are in the chat and they are used to the way that this is usually working, normally, I'm just gonna take a very short break. Actually, this gives me a second to talk about this. Let's just take a very short break, guys. Oops. So normally, this is not where we wanted to go. Oops. Today we have so many technical difficulties. I'm sorry. We're gonna be right back to our regularly scheduled program. So normally I tell you guys, please comment something in the chat and let me know which is your favorite encounter. And then at the very end, we're doing a prize drawing of one of you guys that left a comment, basically. So we can also give some feedback to Kyle, and he knows which encounter guys and girls enjoyed the most. This time we're doing it a little bit differently. I ask you guys to leave a comment below the video, because this stream had like such short advance notice that very few people are going to be able to catch it live. And I think it's making it fairer, especially on our international viewers, the guys from the US, where it is like the middle of the night. So just leave a comment below the video, and then tomorrow at roughly the same time, or like noon my time, I'm going to be picking one random person that commented below the video and get in touch with them, and they can let me know which username they got. And we're going to give them 10 summoning tokens. So if you're thinking that you need to comment in the chat right now and you're going to be illegal for the prize drawing, this is not how it works this time around. Please leave a comment below the video, and there's a chance you cannot do this while the video is live, and you might have to do it at the end of the stream, after the stream has finished. So maybe just hang around for another second when the stream is finished, and then you can leave a comment. You can also do this at a later point in time, but I'm going to be very mad if you leave me right now. Alright, this takes us to the rare encounters. Rare encounter number 1. We can get the party going with Static Crackle. Unfortunately, this guy's still alive, but this is not much of a problem because we still have Wingtip. Now the problem is, Wingtip takes some damage, but this is not as much of a problem because we still have Static Crackle and she can heal Wingtip. It's a very weird definition of healing, because the way that this works is that in the game, if a unit has more health than they started the level with, you're getting full scores for the adventure. And Wingtip with his active just takes out both enemies here. This is quite convenient. We still had the killer robot again, and we also needed the killer robot to make sure that we do get the lightning victory. This takes us to rare encounter number 2, where we are required to play mechanic heroes. So those units are Snazbang, Static Crackle can do it, Sprocket of course is a mechanic, otherwise this wouldn't make any sense. And then the OG is basically Cinder. You can also play Cinder here, but I felt like I don't think I need Cinder. And we can see that here. We can go in and start with the killer robot, get rid of the first enemy, then we can place some landmines on the board. And since we also do have a Snazbang on a healing tile in 4 turns, this is important, we need those 4 turns, we actually have enough time to deal with the enemies here. So we could immediately go for Snazbang's active, but I very often feel like I don't want to do that. I'm just using a regular attack. If he had crit, we would have to wait another turn to do the rest of this encounter. Yeah, because he's setting the tile on fire. But he's not critting, so we're good. And then we're like in a really good position. Alternatively, I think that Cinder could have really like done a great job as well. Because if you put the cannon on the one side, the cannon is just shooting at these enemies. And since you do have 4 turns, this should be easy enough to get the perfect score. This takes us to rare encounter number 3, where we are allowed to play rogues. Usually that makes it very easy. This seems a bit hard, but I think I got kind of lucky. You can watch this with me and decide for yourself. So what I decided to do is just stand behind, like stay back, don't really do anything. Then we're using gigs on one side to at least weaken all of these enemies. We don't have to take them out, it's fine. Then we place the killer robot on the board. By the way that we moved, we made it 100% sure that he's gonna go here. And then we can place Scruffy in the middle and go on offense now. The important thing is we want to damage this guy or take this guy out, because Scruffy's passive of course only triggers when the enemies are moving in, and we can see that here. Thanks to the attack of Gigs and all of them taking damage, they were like, Scruffy could just make short work of them without any problems. And that was basically the assist of Gigs for Scruffy. And this is how I solved it. I'm not sure if I got lucky here. You let me know if this works for you, or if we have to come up with another strategy. In rare encounter number 4, we are not allowed to play ranged units, But if you call a Tanamo courtesy of your own, this is really, really easy. We just first place the units here in this way, so we can definitely put the killer robot on the board and make sure that the enemies, and there's a killer robot between us and the enemies, and then we just use Tana. And that's it. That is the encounter. There's another encounter that is similar, where it looks like a showcase for Tana. Did we ever have Tanamo's Adventure? I'm not sure. We should absolutely have Tanamo's Adventure at some point. And that takes us to rare encounter number 5. And again, this is one of those that I had to play for a second time. I think this might be the second time in this adventure that this happened. It did not happen very often. This adventure, like I said at the beginning, very straightforward. So the problem I had here was that my Queen Akeshu could not deal with Sefa. He moved in, used his active, there's a lot of ice, and he immediately took out Queen Akeshu. So I'm like, okay, if you want to play it that way, I can play fire with fire, or in this case, ice with ice. So instead we're tagging in Penda. Penda, of course, gets super, super powerful thanks to all of this ice surrounding him. And Naevis can also walk over the blue tiles. She's not affected by ice at all. She's also blue unit just like Penda. So we can easily make short use of Penda. Then we use the killer robot to get rid of this guy. We put some summons on the board. This is an abundance of summons, but quite honestly we don't need that many. And then we place an enemy, or a shade in this case, next to this archer, and we should be fine. And you can already tell, oh my god, this is over. We can take one enemy out with Penda, and then we still have the active, or just a regular attack. Both works here. We were like never afraid of losing this, basically. And that's basically it for the rare encounters. And that takes us to the epic encounters. Epic encounter number 1 is the second Tanamo showcase. This seemed like a joke. It's one of those videos where I didn't even bother editing it. I just looked, oh, am I playing 3 rogues? Okay, I'm good. Because I knew that I didn't need another unit. This was pretty straightforward. So I'm like, okay, cool. On to the next one. So first attempt immediately. My Scruffy did R3 on its own. Wow, your Scruffy must be better than mine. I mean, my Scruffy is not something to write home about. This takes us to epic encounter number 2, and I saw the no flying sign. So I'm like, oh crap, I can't use Tana this time around. But I kind of like that we're finally getting some Tana action, because it has been a while in adventures that she has been a thing, really. So here we're going with Sprocket to the bottom, put a killer robot on the board. Then my Vera takes out one archer, damages one of the sorceresses. We're taking her out with a shade, and then Giggs comes in. And Giggs kind of gets lucky with 1 crit hit, but I don't think it's necessary because we still have some frogs. We just need 1 really. And that's it. This is the encounter. Yes, there's still an enemy on the board, but come on. We have 3 units that can attack with range. So what's the big problem here? So this was epic encounter number 2. Very, very straightforward. And that takes us to epic encounter number 3, the last level before the legendary encounter. Here we have to play red heroes. Let me just quickly go back. Is this the first time I'm playing it? Yes, it is the first time I'm playing this encounter. But I quite liked it. This was a nice puzzle to solve, as far as I'm aware. Even though I did it on the first try, but I liked it a lot. So, something I did not consider whatsoever is the fact that this is an epic encounter, and my Sunshine is a rare unit. So, you need to get a little bit lucky if you only call a common Sunshine your own, but you're gonna be fine. It's not gonna be like the end of the world. You can also move Karadan a little bit more to the front so he can actually go into the shrub. That would be a smart idea. We're using the active of Karadan together with Buzzy to get rid of this Frost Sorceress. And now there's a lot of enemies. We're baiting some of them to attack Karadan, and the rest is all going at Sunshine. But he blocks something like 3 times. So, we're good. Sprocket is powerful enough to immediately put Sunshine back at full health. I'm like, what? How is this possible? I did not see that coming. I thought I need to take at least 1 more turn and like take it slow and like dismantle the enemies strategically one after another. But in theory, we could win on this turn already. Now, this Frost guy is very like resistant. He doesn't want to go down, but it's all good. Because we still have now only 3 enemies, so Sunshine doesn't have to block 3 more times. It's gonna be fine if he only blocks 3 times instead of 4 possible times. This Sunshine is ridiculous. Which doesn't make him a good unit. I just want to be on the record here. Not that anybody thinks that Sunshine is suddenly like a tier 1 unit or something. We're taking out the guy with Caradan. Not the best play because now he's not next to Sir Tristan, so Sir Tristan could not jump in. But we only have 3 more enemies, and we have a killer Sunshine that is just like making short use of enemies. Obviously, there was no way to play this differently, like to make Sunshine attack another unit. It would have been smarter for Sunshine to attack in the middle, because then afterwards he could have still attacked another unit. Maybe it would have been even smarter to first do a regular attack with Sunshine, and then, yeah, do a regular attack here and then use Sprocket. Or first repair him with Bussy and then do Sprocket stuff. There's a couple of ways to play this a little bit smarter than I did. In the end, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, we're getting the perfect score here thanks to the active of Bussy Klonkson. And my units are not all epics. Like, yes, Bussy is an epic, but Sunshine is not. I mean, Karen is a legendary, but you really don't need a legendary Karen for this. And that's basically it. That's basically it for all of the encounters that are below legendary. And this is the second to last chest that we're getting here. And that basically takes us straight to where we are right now. We can see here we got the 7,300, and we still had at refresh basically at least 1, maybe even 2 or 3, I'm not sure. And that's basically where we are right now. So now we're tackling the legendary encounter that I did not tackle before. We always do this live on the stream, so it's a little bit more fun, so you guys can see me fail and feel like, okay, this guy doesn't know it all, and I don't. In case anybody ever thought that I like know everything inside out, I don't. No worries. Alright, in the legendary encounter, we are required to get a lightning victory, nothing new here, get all the stars, nothing new here, and then of course we are only deploying rogues, which seems pretty straightforward. There's a diamond rank 2 Panda going up against us, and then all the other enemies are silver rank units. So they're gonna fall immediately, as far as I'm aware, when we're bringing legendaries to the party. Yeah, so it seems like it's basically Panda on his own. Oh, actually there's one more guy, okay. But, okay, who cares? These guys, if we do enough damage, they're just gonna start cloning themselves, so this should be straightforward enough. So, this is where we are. This is where the enemies are. Panda has 2,600 health. So we cannot one-shot Panda unless, I think Burun pointed this out, unless you have a crazy strong Sunshine. Sunshine's active at level 50. Okay, I know this is getting super unrealistic, but Sunshine's active at level 50 could immediately get rid of this enemy. So the main problem here is how do we prevent Panda from hitting our units? So let's think about this for a second. Panda can go 1, 2, 3 spots, and if he went here, because this guy's gonna die obviously, he is gonna be 1, 2, 3 spots. So we would have to move all our units to this side. However, when we're at this side and he stands here, he can go 1, I can't see this exactly, 2, 3. Okay, so this right side is actually safe. This right side, except for the first tile, is actually safe. If we can move my Vera in here, place, first take out this guy, maybe with gigs. Let's break this down. So we're using gigs and take out the guy at the top. We stay behind. Then we place my Vera into the shrub together with Naevis. My Vera can very easily take out. Or maybe I want to take the guys at the top out with. Yeah, Giggs wants to go here because he's gonna attack these guys at the top. So we need Naevis in here. But before that, Naevis needs to stand here because she needs to allow my Vera to shoot the guys at the bottom. So let's just quickly check how much damage my Vera is doing. We're looking at 756 to 924, and these guys have less. So that's cool. That works. So step number 1, move my Vera, take out the 3 archers at the bottom. So actually, step number 1 is get rid of the frost golem at the top. How do we get rid of the frost golem at the top? We need another powerful rogue that can just one-shot an enemy. Do we use gigs? But then we can't use gigs on the other guys. Let's see, we also have Nimrul. But if we use Nimrul, we cannot prevent Panda from hitting us. I don't like this. So either we get lucky with gigs, much? Oh, we can probably use Sunshine. Because Sprocket is just gonna make Sunshine jump. Yeah. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of this strategy. Oh, we could also just shoot Panda. We're doing 1000, roughly 1000 damage. Plus, so we're doing 2-5. Are we one-shotting Panda? But then the tile is on fire, very likely. Okay, this doesn't seem like the best strategy. Okay, so let's try and hit with Gigs the Frost Golem without killing it. Alternatively, we could use Sprocket. Yeah, maybe Panda is focusing his fire on our, what's it called? Ah, he's still alive. That sucks. That sucks. Okay, let's... if we set it the tile on fire, we're not winning this. Okay, let's see. My Vara is gonna take these guys out. Okay. Then we can move up here. Oh, no targets in range. Okay, now we need to get lucky. Let's see if this works. Nope. Does not work. Okay. For the most part, this was fine. The only problem was that the killer robot immediately destroyed the archer at the top. Level up. Okay, so this wasn't the best approach. I like the Myvera move. The only problem is, how do we get rid of Panda or prevent Panda from hitting us? We could use Tanamo, and if we get lucky with a crit hit, she's gonna jump into the other side, kill the archer at the top, and then at least shoot Panda, like do damage to Panda. Then we would have to get rid of the bottom two guys. That is where... Who can come in? Oh, Pari maybe. Pari could come in at the bottom. Yeah. So Pari would have to stand here. Oh, we don't need Myvera anymore. If we use Pari. Yeah. Pari would take out the two guys. And then Giggs could use his active at the top. I'm just not sure if we're going to be able to take out Panda this way. Are we using Steady Crackle to heal our units again? This is a weird encounter. But I like it. It's very challenging. Mushroom the top archer. Mushroom. But Servatus is not a... Servatus is not a rogue. We need rogues. Good to see the wheels and sprockets turning for the legendary encounter. Always useful insights along the way. Thank you. Yes, I'm surprised it's this hard. It's just the way that this is structured. Let's see if this works. So we could... Yeah, if we get a crit hit, he's dead. I'm just gonna try this. I just want to turn this into the Tanamo showcase. So, Pari's gonna get rid of nobody. Okay, that's not great. I'm an idiot, we still have Sprocket. Why am I not using Sprocket? Alright, let's see if Tana is actually going for Panda. I don't think so. Yeah, okay. So this didn't work out at all. At all. Ah, sadness. Sadness indeed. Yeah, we didn't... I kind of forgot about my own Sprocket. Crap. Okay, did not work. Who's going to do the deeds here? Okay, this time Naevis can go in. We should first poison Panda. Yeah, this should be it. Yeah, okay. Not a good attempt at all. I'm not happy. I used Nimrul. But how do you get the perfect score then? Hello. How do you get the perfect score with Nimrul? I mean, you can clean out the guy at the top of Nimrul, of course. We clean out the guy at the top of Nimrul. Or with Sprocket. I mean, we want to have a killer robot, right? No? How do we get rid of the bottom 2 guys without killing the 3rd guy at the top? With gigs. I guess that's an approach. If Panda is attacking at the bottom instead of the top, this could work. So we could use gigs on the bottom guy, take both at the bottom out. Then we use Tana to jump at the top archer and hit Panda. And then we just hit Panda one more time to make sure that he's dead. And this would be where we're using my Vera maybe. The only problem is the archers can then connect with Tana more. I don't like this. Heal back up with Static Crackles active. Yeah, my Static Crackle is not that strong. My Static Crackle is, let's see. Where is she? The problem is I have to scroll. This already shows us the problem. The active gives us 368 health. That's not a lot. Obviously we can get more than 1 supply crate, but it doesn't look like the best approach. But I'm really curious to see whether or not Panda is gonna attack the frogs instead of us. Because if he's attacking the frogs instead of us, we're gonna be fine. Maybe Static Crackle is the answer, I don't know. Can Tana one-shot Panda? She's doing 696 on top of 181, 1,800. So she's doing 2,400. And if we get the 20% bonus, meh, that doesn't look very likely. Because we could use gigs at the bottom, then Tana, then my Vera. Then he would definitely be dead. So Panda would be dead, but the question is what are the enemies going to do? And quite honestly, I don't know. Just give this a try and see what happens. So we're using gigs at the bottom. Don't have a frog, or just 1 frog. Then we're using Tana. Panda is almost dead. And now we can connect with him. Yes, we can connect with him. So let's first put the killer robot on the board. Yeah, now we're gonna lose because our Static Crackle, what's her name? Sprocket is gonna take damage. So this strategy, almost good. Almost good. God. Can't get him there. Yeah. And we can't connect with gigs either. Ah, this sucks. This sucks. We're so close. So close. Okay. Static Crackle doesn't work. Because Static Crackle doesn't have enough attack. This is weird. This looks like an easy encounter. But it really isn't. How do we prevent Panda from hitting us? I don't get it. I don't get it. I need a Nixie tree. Why is there no Nixie tree here? This is live, but I need to find the answers right now. Well, we do have the other encounters are already solved, so you got all the other stuff. How do we get rid of Panda without him hitting us? I don't get it at all. Okay, let's go back to the original strategy. Let's use gigs at the top, hope for a frog, because these archers are not strong enough to kill gigs. We use my Vera to clean out the guys at the bottom. Static Crackle is just gonna sit tight. We're not gonna do anything with Static Crackle. She's just gonna Sprocket. I keep mixing up the names now. With Sprocket for the first turn, and then the second turn we're gonna explode and kill everything. This is the idea. Does this idea sound like a plan? We can also get super lucky and yeah, this should work. Should. Just need to put you here. Tana can't hop and hit Panda. She can, but Panda is diamond rank 2. He's not going to die. This is the problem. Okay, so we need Naevis here, her here. You need to go here and use your active and get us a frog. Okay, so far so good. Then You need to clean house. Okay. Why are these tiles red? Oh, Panda can still hit us. Okay. Quite honestly, I did not see that coming at all. Right. He can also hit us at the bottom. So we might need a heal with Steady Crackle. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's attacking the frogs. Okay. Okay, active is gone. Panda doesn't have any range anymore. This is now a walk in the park. This encounter just changed from impossible to solve to solved immediately. I don't think we need to do anything. Panda's gonna move in, hit the frog at the top, and then we can hit back. So we don't even need Sprocket at all. So we can even hit him. But since we're not critting and killing him, let's not do that. And instead just... I should have hit him with my Vera. That would have been a good play. Well, better be lucky than good. So he's doing this, yeah. And now this is the last turn for us, but we still have a Giggs. And we still have you, but before we do that, we can hit him with my Vera, and that's it. Okay. Okay. I think I overthought this. So the solution is apparently... Let's try this one more time. The solution is apparently to just ignore the fact that Panda can hit all of your units, get lucky with Giggs, and win the day. It's not the first time we saw this. So we move here, we get the Giggs bomb, hope for a frog or 2 or 3, and then after that we use my Vera to take out everybody at the bottom, and that's more or less it. If you're so inclined, you can actually shoot with Snazbang here and hope that you're not gonna get hit. I would not recommend it. And that's it. Yeah, the problem is that, like, the problem from the game's perspective, if we want to try and put ourselves in the game's shoes, the problem is that the game wants to do something with Panda, and Panda is not great here. That's just the way it is. And now we can actually move all of our ranged attackers here, and first poison, then we kill, and then we kill again. Yeah, this seems pretty straightforward. If you get lucky enough with a frog at the top, and Panda is dumb enough to hit the frog instead of your units, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. This is legendary. Yeah, this was the legendary encounter. Alright, and that's basically it already. This was the last encounter. This should give us the last chest. I mean, it should. It should really give us the last chest. In it, we see 4k gold, some more shards, an essence. Meh. Okay. Hopefully I can sell them someday. And that's it. We solved the adventure. Woohoo! Yay. Alright. I am lazy and I'm not gonna add timestamps to this whole thing. So, but on the other side, there's information which encounter we're tackling, so you can obviously rewind the stream or this video, go back to the part where we were, and then very easily find the level you're looking for a strategy. You're looking for some help, and you will find a strategy. As I explained at the very beginning, in the description, in the middle of this stream, and one more time at the very end. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We're not doing a live price drawing because this was very short notice and most people in the US are still asleep unless they are working at night, like crazy people like Trenton, for example. And for that reason, we're doing it a little bit differently. You don't have to like leave a comment in the chat, although obviously I appreciate it if you're talking to me and not like ghost me like a stranger. And what you have to do is just leave a comment below this video. Just leave a comment below this video, and then tomorrow, at some point during the day, I'm going to be drawing a winner. Obviously, I'm going to be announcing it as well down below. And this winner, I'm going to get in touch with them. You give me your username, hopefully. And then we coordinate this with Kyle. And you get 10 summoning tokens. Woohoo! Please do me a favor and let me know what you thought about this adventure and which your favorite encounter was. So if there was one, I really enjoyed epic number 3, even though I did solve it on my first try. It seemed like a cool puzzle, and the fact that my rare sunshine blocked 4 attacks the first turn and then 3 more attacks the second turn is something that I will remember forever. It's going to be one of the MVP performances in any adventure I've ever seen. So, thank you very much, everyone. So again, just leave a comment below the video. You're gonna be eligible for the prize drawing, and you could win 10 summoning tokens, I'm gonna get in touch with you. That's it for today. I now have to get my workday started. I just did this in the morning so you guys have more time to solve this adventure. You have 1 day and 15 hours. There's absolutely no excuse to not get a perfect score in this adventure, unless you're missing 1 or 2 units, of course. And you're overthinking the legendary encounter like I did for, like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. I'm in. Yes. Good job, Felix, and good luck. That's it for today. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. And we're going to see each other very soon again. The absolute latest, if nothing else is going to happen in between, but I don't think that's the case, is towards the end of the current festival. Not the adventure, we're talking about the festival now, of Captain Vittoria My Piena. I'm just going to call her Vittoria. We're very likely going to be playing some tournament arena when this is happening. This is always happening at the very start and the very end of a festival. So next Friday, not tomorrow, next Friday, the week after, there's going to be another tournament where we can play this. In the meantime, there was another video that went live on this channel. Actually, I did change this and I didn't show anybody. Here we go. This is the festival that's currently underway, in case you didn't know. In the meantime, there was a video that went live on this channel yesterday. Finally, after, I don't know, 6 months or something, I sat down, took the time to edit the video again. We're breaking down Treasure Beach with 3 looters. And there's 1 fail attempt in there, so you can see what not to do. And then there's 2 pretty good attempts in there that where I'm really showing you, okay, this is how you move units, this is what you need to keep in mind, this is how you can even improve this. And the personal record that I have so far is 24 looter activations out of a theoretically possible 30 looter activations. So this is the perfect preparation for you, because double gold day is coming up, obviously. So just watch that video, learn how to master Treasure Beach with 3 looters, and then you can make a lot of gold this weekend. That's really it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you all very, very soon again.